Hello, welcome to another video. I hope you're well. You join me and my microphone on a spatula because it always goes weird when it's on me. But I'm going to talk through this book, which I read, I think, over a week ago now. It is Green Dot by Madeleine Gray, and I friggin' love this book. Thought I'd do a little review because I've not seen many on YouTube, and I just want to shout out about how much I love this book. It gives me conversations with friends vibes crossed with Fleabag. So if that's your kind of vibe, you might want to listen to this. I read this last weekend, and over 3 days I scheduled time in to read this because I loved it so much. So it follows Hera. She is in her 20s. She's done 3 degrees because basically she wants to put off growing up, I guess, but doing an actual job. But she realizes she needs money, so she gets a job. I think it's for a newspaper kind, but a comment moderator, and she hates it. She cries, and I think I can relate a bit to this. I think everyone can relate to Hera. I think it's when you're in your 20s, you feel like it's the end of the world or like it's old, whereas people who aren't in their 20s think you're so young. So everyone who's in their 20s thinks they're anything but 20. It's set in Australia and crosses over into England at times, and it gives me Irish vibes. I don't know what it is about this. I don't know if Madeleine Gray has some background with that. So we know right now that she's in this job that she really hates, but she develops a friendship with this guy named Arthur at work. He's one of the journalists, so he does some writing. And from there, we experience Hera becoming the other woman. So this follows her having an affair with Arthur, and I don't know if she's like happy, but she accepts that she's going to be the mistress. And it follows her over the next few months with Arthur, how their affair develops, and just navigating all the other stuff that goes with it, as well as being in your 20s. This is also set pre-pandemic, so you know it's coming and how that's going to impact them. And this, I don't know what it was, but I couldn't stop reading. I think it was more from the start, it's told with hindsight, where Hera knows. It's not a spoiler that she is having an affair. That is the main premise of this book. And she says, like, she knew, like, she'd hoped he would leave his wife, what was going to happen next. And it's more like, what does it actually build up to? What are the outcomes of said decisions, of their actions and stuff like that? And what's it like being the other woman and accepting it? Every line in this novel has been so carefully written. It is full of wit. It's so funny. And Hera is a really self-aware character, and I just love her. Some people may hate her, but I love how self-aware she is, and she wants to do something, she does it, and if she doesn't, then there we go. And it also follows her and her friendships with Soph and someone else who basically keep her grounded, and they're like, yeah, welcome to the real world. This is what working a job is like. Not everyone loves it, but you just got to do what you have to do. Hera, I have to like be careful how I say it because I want to say Vera, but it's Hera, is unapologetic. She's honest, she's smart, and she's relatable, but ultimately her weakness does get the better of her, which is Arthur, and they meet up. And in terms of the whole green dot thing, it's her chat at work, so like the work chat room, and she longs for his green dot to come up. And then it kind of links over into like Facebook as well when he's on there as well, and I think Instagram, those kinds of things. Almost reads like an autobiography at times because it is just so believable, and just like Hera is getting you into her mind, and it addresses like you, the second person, as well, which normally freaks me out, but it didn't on this occasion. And this is her writing. Gray's writing is like a hot knife through butter. It is just gorgeous. It is stunning, and it flows through the page. And like I said, I read this in 3 days. Also, I have to be wary of how I hold my spatula. The back cover, I've not seen it before, but it goes over. So I think this is the idea of what Arthur looks like. I just thought that was really interesting. So we've got Hera at her desk, and then over to Arthur, who is literally quite opposite on the other side of the divide, because it's basically an office where they don't see the light all day, just the lights above them, and Hera just hates it. She's flawless, like in terms of her wit. I mean, she is flawed, but her wit is flawless. She's just like impeccable. I really enjoyed reading about her story, and then what happens when maybe she doesn't want to be the other woman anymore. But then we come into COVID times, and then she goes to England, so you've got that to experience if you want to read this. But I really enjoyed this. Like I said, it was Fleabag vibes and conversations with friends, but the characters are more likeable in this one compared to like Frances and Bobby in Sally Rooney's novel. And yeah, it just follows themes of like adulthood, love, friendships, all those kinds of things, coming of age in a way. I love these kinds of books. I really enjoyed this writing. I also saw something where Madeleine Gray went through the books that inspired her, so I want to add those as well to my TBR. I'll simply say this novel is just gorgeous. It's one of my favourite books I've read so far this year, and it is just brilliant. I would highly recommend if you're into those kinds of books that I have mentioned, or like Fleabag, like I said on TV. Yeah, really enjoyed this. I think a lot of people, when they come across this, are gonna enjoy this just like I did, and probably get on this hype as well. Because again, I've not seen many people talk about this, so get on this bandwagon, add this to your TBR, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. Nice and short this time, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye. Oh no.